Good day, everyone. This will be a short video to kind of go through the course outline. You will have your first session with your lecturers that they will discuss the course outline with you as well. But this is just a general one to make sure that the key points are covered on how to access the course outline. So remember, you'll download this off of Moodle, and there'll be a welcome video. There'll be a Moodle walkthrough video that I will produce to show you where everything is again, to make sure that you're going to have the most tools that you need for success. So you can see in the course outline here, this course is 3 credits. It's CMPS 1014 is the course code, and the title is Introduction to Computer Studies. It's delivered in asynchronous fashion, and the semester runs from January to May. You can also see here the different numbers and the codes for the section. So the sections that I will be teaching are CMPS 1014 01, that's the letter O1, and also section .1 and .3. You can see Dr. Ryan will be teaching .2, Mr. Jelani will be teaching .4, Mr. Melvin will be .5 and .6, Mr. David will be .7, and Mr. Amaklar is .8. And then you can see the times that are scheduled as of right now. You need to check with your lecturers to ensure that the times indeed are accurate. You can also check in your student portal to see where you are and where you're supposed to be. You know which section that you're in, so when you sign up, you chose a section number, and you also chose a date and time to make sure that you had no conflicts, right? Because remember, you are, while you are not mandated to report to the live consultation sessions, those students that do tend to be much more successful, right? Google Meet and Moodle are our platforms. There are no field trips. There are no prerequisites for courses for this, and no co-requisite courses for this. This is an introductory course and general studies for all students. And you can see all of the email addresses again provided here for the lecturers that will be teaching the course. Please note that you are required to have some sort of device. That means either a PC or a laptop with Windows 7 or 10 or later, along with Microsoft Office 2016 and reliable internet. These are requirements to be able to complete the course, right? Understand what that means, that if you have a Mac, you're going to have issues. If you have Microsoft Office 2003 or 2010, you're going to have some differences in when you look at some of the tutorials, and also you're going to have some differences when you go to do your work and trying to be able to meet the requirements of the course, okay? You also have access to computer labs on the UB campus, following all pandemic protocols. And obviously, if you live in a community where they have computer labs, you have access to them as well. Everything is provided for you by this course. You do not have to purchase any textbook. Everything is posted on the website, right? So the course is basically an introductory computer concepts course, and we'll be covering the fundamentals and theories and concepts of basic computers, applications, hardware, software, ethics, computing and society, and then Microsoft Word and Excel will be covered in a practical fashion, while Access will be covered in theory only, right? The course is asynchronous, right? It's important that you understand that, which means that the holding of live classroom sessions does not take place. Instead, we have a weekly consultation session for each class. These typically last about 30 minutes, and that's based upon the number of students that show up and the types of questions that you have. They're designed to keep you on track with the course deliverables. Sessions will consist of announcements, reminders, directions to locate resources, and clarifications on assignments and generalized feedback. And again, while attendance at the live consultation sessions is not mandatory, students are required to either attend and or view the recorded session, or it will negatively impact their grade. You are ultimately accountable for all the information provided at these sessions, okay? So please make sure that if you don't come to the session, that you at least watch the recording from start to finish. I'm not going to read through the entire course outline, as you all have the ability to read, but you can see all of the course intended learning outcomes that are here. And then we have, like I mentioned, we will be covering theory and practical. So there'll be 2 practical units, basically. One will be based on Microsoft Word, and one will be based on Microsoft Excel. As far as instructor response time comes, please give an instructor 24 hours to respond, 1 business day, for any information regarding emails that you may send to them. Regarding turnaround time for graded assignments, you can expect your grades to be posted and available at a maximum of 12 working days from the day the assignment was completed. Remember, a working day is considered Monday through Friday. So that would be about 2.5 weeks that you should expect your assignments to be graded and posted. Okay? All your grades will be available on Moodle. It is your responsibility to check your grades on Moodle and to make sure that you're up to date. If you see something wrong, do not wait until May to email your lecturer. Please check your grades. You will receive notifications when something is graded. And so if there's a question about why it was graded, go in and look at the feedback that was provided. And then if you still have a question, then you can copy and paste your feedback that you don't understand. Okay? The course material, assignments, activities, rubrics, quizzes, and tests, everything is posted on Moodle. You will have access to everything 3 weeks at a time. So you'll always be able to see 3 weeks when you go in. So you can see here that each week there'll be, it's listed by week 1, week 2, week 3, and the dates. And those are the things that you should be going through when you're going through the self-study unit, when you're accessing the tutorials. This is what you should be looking at. This is where you should be on track. And pay special attention to this section in the right where it says assessment and due dates. It will tell you when something opens and when something is supposed to close. Okay, so everything here is in red and everything is up to date and listed for this semester. Okay, so you'll see weeks 1 all the way down through week 16, including the Easter break, which is listed here as well, which is the 11th to the 17th, 18th actually, up to the final project. Okay. The self-study, computer fundamentals, basically you have quizzes that you're going to be taking, and each quiz has an accompanying video or support, plus you also have a textbook that you'll be able to access, which you'll see the link for, which is an online textbook, free. Basically it's a resource where you can ask questions, you can type in, search, and you'll be able to use that for your quizzes and even in some cases for your practical exercises on some of the skills that you may have extra questions on. When it comes to academic honesty, I just want to touch on this. It's important that you submit your own work. Those of you who have access to friends who may have taken this course before, every semester there are adjustments and changes that are made to assignments and also to the final project. So if you submit something that is not yours, there's a very good chance it will be found out, and that will cost you a 0 in that particular assignment, and it could cost you a 0 for the course. So please make sure that what you're submitting is honestly your work from this current semester. We do have some cases where students retake courses, and again, if you retake the course because you did not pass it or you dropped out, anything that you did last semester or that previous semester does not count, and you would not be able to resubmit that without your instructor's permission. Okay, so even resubmitting your own assignment can be considered plagiarism, right? You can only submit an assignment once for one course. You cannot submit the same assignment twice for any course or for a different course, right? Typically, your sessions will start on time. Please, if you enter the classroom and your lecturer is not there, please allow them 10 minutes to be able to log in. Make sure, again, you're logging in with your student email. Try to be on time when you come into a virtual session. You make sure that you will mute your microphone. You don't have to come in and announce yourself. You just come in and you listen. And in some cases, if you come in late, you may have missed something. So if you ask the lecturer a question, in some cases you may get the response that was covered during the first 10 minutes. When the session is over, please re-watch that session rather than having them have to go over it again. Okay? Always make sure that your cell phones, if you are speaking, that your cell phones and background noises are to a minimum. And all of the materials that are on the course need to be accessed and used in order for you to be successful. If you just try to do the work without going through the tutorials, without watching the videos, without doing the exercises, you are going to have a rough semester, folks. So please make sure that all of those are accessed and watched and used, okay? Each lecturer will have a policy on late assignments. So I'll let them tell you what their policy is. In my personal first session, I will explain the late assignment. Um, but you need to make sure that you understand what it is, because lecturers are not required to accept late work. So the standard would be that if you submit something late, it will not be graded, but if your lecturer chooses to do so, that's when they will tell you, okay? Don't assume that you can submit something late for any reason. Again, if you're having any issues with Moodle, you can email odl@ub.edu.bz. If you're having any issues that are going to affect your work, always reach out to your lecturer first. A computer crashes, you get a virus, whatever it may be, always make sure that you reach out to your lecturer, let them know. And always be using your student email. It's very important. Remember that if you are blocked for any financial reason, that is another problem that you can overcome with the help of your lecturer. But you need to reach out to your lecturer. Remember that just because you're blocked from the LMS, which is Moodle, because of your financial situation, doesn't mean that you cannot do any work. You need to reach out to your lecturer and explain to them what the situation is, and they will work with you. So it's not just because you don't have money doesn't mean you have to stop that day. As long as you're making an effort to make good on your bills, your lecturer will work with you. Okay. The grading scale that we have is A. You can see here is basically the standard for all the class: A, 95 to 100, all the way down to anything below a 60 is an F. Remember that in most cases, a passing grade for this course is a C. Right? You need to check your sequence and see what your sequence requires. But in most cases, those of you that are taking this course, it's a prerequisite for the next level course. So that means you would have to get a C. If it is not, and this is the only course that you're taking in computers, you have to check with your advisor and with your sequence to find out if you can get a D or a D+. But in most cases, the university has made a switch towards the passing grade being a C. Now, the activities that we have for this class, you can see them listed here. There are 4 different categories. We have 4 forums. Each one of them is 2.5%, okay, which makes a total of 10% of your grade, okay. You have 2 assignments. They're practical assignments and they're multi-part. They're both worth 15% each for a total of 30. You will have 1 quiz over a 10-week period each week at 3% each, which will test you on your theoretical knowledge, which will be 30%. And your last part would be your final exam, which is actually an individual project. So it's actually a final assessment. It's not a theory exam. That is a multi-part individual project, and that is worth 30% of your grade. So you can see that 60% of the grade of this course is practical. The other 40% is theoretical. So your total is 100%. So you'll be able to calculate your grade at any point in time and see where you stand, and your grades will be in Moodle, like I said, typically after 12 business days. The participation forums, I'm going to do a video for each particular one, but you should know that each one counts, again, for 2.5% of your grade. There are 4 of them. The forums are designed for you to explain what you learned in a short essay and support your post with a reference related to the topics we are working on during that period of time. The times are firm and no late post will be accepted. All posts should be in paragraph form, each paragraph with at least 3 to 5 sentences and contain 3 paragraphs, 1 reference, at least 1 reference cited in APA format. Everything is listed here for the first 4 forums, so you can always access this again on your course outline. Your assignments, again, 2 assignments. One is in Microsoft Word and one is with Microsoft Excel. They're both 15% of your total grade. They will have the specifics posted up on Moodle prior to the date that they will be introduced. So you can see that the first assignment will be introduced on week 3, which is after the drop add period, to ensure that we have everybody on board, and the second assignment, which will be in week 8. So typically you'll have about 4 weeks to complete the assignment. Do not leave it to the end, and again, check with your lecturer if they accept any late work. You also have the 10 quizzes I mentioned, right? They are based upon the self-study topics that are provided. Each quiz has its own topic and also has its own open and closing dates, right? The quiz, each quiz consists of 20 questions. You will have 30 minutes to complete it, and you are given 2 attempts. The second attempt is provided in the case of any technical difficulty. So if you have any problems, your computer shuts down, and so forth, you run out of internet, you have that second attempt there for you. If you don't need it, by all means, you don't have to take it twice. Once the quizzes are graded, which means at the date it closes. So for example, the first quiz is in week 3. It opens up Monday, January 31st, and it will close Sunday night at 11:59 on February 6th. At midnight, the correct answers on February 7th will be available to you see which ones you got correct and which ones you got wrong. Okay, so that's why the quizzes don't have any extension. So if you are blocked from Moodle for whatever reason, there's no way that you could take the quizzes. So that's 30% of your grade that you could miss, being if you would have to be blocked for 10 weeks, which would be highly unlikely. But if you miss something, it's why it's important to always get in there and try to do your quizzes early. You never know what could happen on Sunday night, but everybody has that 1 week window to take them. Like I mentioned earlier, if you put off tomorrow what you can do today, it could cost you, right? So it's important to always try to do your quizzes before Friday. This way, if you have technical problems, you have somebody there that you could reach out to. Saturdays and Sundays, it's hard to get people that are be able to assist you with a problem that you could be having technically, okay? So those are the 10 quizzes. You can see the topics and the dates that they open and the date that they close. The individual financial project, final practical project, this it will have its own set of videos. Basically, you will see a video which will explain the project overview. There'll be a video that will explain the business proposal, one that will explain the first year budget, and one that will explain the video presentation. And this is already a part of your course outline, so all of this you could see. So everything in this course outline is here for you, with the exception of 2 things: the details on the assignment and the quiz questions. Everything else is here. The quiz questions and the assignments are on Moodle, and as we get to those weeks, you will be able to access them to time. Okay, so it's important that you understand everything that you need is outlaid for you clearly in an organized fashion so that you have access and you can be successful. Now it's up to you with what you will do with it, okay? So again, there is a lot of detail in here when it comes to the course project. This is a very, it's going to take you the amount of time that that you're given to be able to do it and to provide it with the actual care and the effort that you need to give it. So this will be rolled out somewhere around week 3 to week 4, and then you will have until the last week 15 to be able to submit it. Okay, so this is the course outline in a nutshell, and again, this will be covered in detail in your first session with your lecturer. If you have any questions, you make sure that you highlight them in your copy of the saved course outline that you have, and you then bring them up during those first sessions during that first week or the second week, okay, to make sure you're clear on what is expected of you. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to seeing you again in the sessions.